So yesterday session we have seen about a routing. Okay. Okay. So what is the purpose of routing in Angular? So routing helps to navigate in between the components. Okay. Routing helps to navigation between the components or pages. So we're having the 3 steps. We've seen that steps: creating the file, assigning the routes. Step 2, router outlet. Without router outlet, your page will not be loaded. For example, if you want to try to load, you forget to give in this router outlet, your page will not at all load. Because where to load, we need to give instruction. This is nothing but instruction. Without instruction, any program will not work out. If you want to work out with any program, if you want to execute, you need to give the instruction. Here, the router outlet is nothing but Angular instruction. Based on the URL which you provided on the address bar, need to load the relevant component. Okay, step 2. Step 3, from where you want to invoke. From the particular place or the particular control, the control can be button or a link, whatever it is. If you want to load a certain page, there you can able to give a router link. So this router link will be give with the slash and without slash. If you give the with the slash, right, it will take the domain name. For example, if I am the register, if I have some more link here, if I click on that link, so register slash it will add. If you're not given the slash, if you give the slash, it will take the domain. After the domain, it will add. Okay, everybody got that? Next, routing types. So routing with the path. So routing without path, this can be called as empty path or default route. So default route, you can't able to see any route. So default means this is treated as a empty. So after the domain, it is simply treated as a empty. Okay, simply treated as a empty. It will not show any login, register, home, nothing. Okay. Next, wildcard route. Wildcard route in the sense sometimes user wants to trying or search for some pages. So if page is not found, in that case, what will happen, right? It will go to the default page. If the page is not found, then it will go to the default page. So to avoid that one, we are having the wildcard routes. For example, if I click on register one, what it will go? It will go to the default page. Default is the login. So to avoid and show the user-friendly message, we are having the wildcard routes. Okay. Wildcard is nothing but unexpected entry. It will come in between the worker. Something wildcard is nothing but in between a process. For example, if you take any type of the shows, wildcard entry. Wildcard means in between the show going on. So something will become. Okay, some person like that. The same here, wildcard. In between the process going on, unexpectedly some route is come, but the route is not exist. In that case, we'll show the not compound, not found. So always wildcard route should be at last. We have seen, right? Good. The app.routing.module.ts file. Always wildcard should be at the last before empty route and then path routes. Okay. Next, we have done that one. Next, let us see. Let me go to the registration page. Let me correct this one. Register, where I have the register one, login component.html. So router link. So now everybody got this one, right? If I give the slash and without slash. So exactly. Let me. Okay. So we'll go to the next concept. For example, if I give the user details like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, register. Let us show the registered successfully first method. Again, with the same data here, user trying to give, then we need to show a alert to the user. Yes. Whenever in our application, for already having the same type of the data, user try to give the same data again, which is not required because already he provided his detail. He he unexpectedly giving again his detail. Then we need to prompt the user. User details already exist. So let us go to the registration register where it is user registration. Let us comment this binding, which is not required, and then table dot something. Go to the app dot component dot html footer. Footer is we don't have as of now. Okay, clean the code first. Welcome to app. Already we have the default page, which is not required. Registration page. If you want, you can able to put the timestamp. Next, where we need to go to here. I am in the user login registration component. So from this save registration employee data, where this function it will exist in the component. What we are doing, we are pushing into the employee registered employee data. Okay. Once we push, we'll show the alert. User registered successfully. Okay. So user registered successfully without giving the data also it is showing. Okay, which is correct? No. Without giving the details, if you want to try to invoke this user registration button, then show some alert. Okay. To show that alert, let us break the system into a parts. So for example, break the system means I'm not saying breaking your system. Here you are having the one save registration method. To show the alert, let us create a one more function. Show prompt or show alert. So for this alert, I will get a input text. In that input text, I will show in a alert box something message. We'll pass message like this. Message. Tomorrow, if you want to replace this alert with something else, right, it will be one place change. That's why one place change answer. First, I will show with the alert. Later, I will show with the message prompt. Okay. To avoid the duplicate code, simply show like this. Show prompt or else show message. Whatever the name you can able to give. Show message. So this dot show message, the function name. Okay. Next. First, I need to check employee data full or not. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So I will try to adapt you to the developer tool. So go to the developer tool, go to the source, put a debugger here. Click on register. Now see this one, this dot employee data. All fields are empty. Okay. This dot employee data, all fields are empty. Next. So how to write a condition to check the data, which conditional statement we need to use? If conditional statement we need to use. We need to check each and every property in this class. Okay. How to check? This dot employee data dot, no need to check ID because ID is generating dynamically, right? Email not is equal to empty and this dot employee data dot after email pass username employee data dot username not is equal to empty and this dot what else? Password. Confirm password. We'll check that one. So these are the major ones. So confirm password is a simply type the password. Okay. All are returning the false. Copy that one. Come here. Where you need to add? Here only, right? If not equal to empty, not equal to empty. If all are not equal to empty, then only I need to execute this flag. Otherwise, I need to show a alert. What I need to show?
Please fill details.
Yes, this dot show message. Please fill all the details. Okay. Okay. So these are the system by default developer we need to know. So without details user enter, we need to please fill all the details. So always client will not provide. So you don't have user without click on the registration need to show all. Sometimes he can able to provide, sometime by default we need to understand the system. So as how other websites are working, we need to follow the same structure. Okay. So simply he wants to be some registration page. If I give the registration page, he click on the register without the detail. If you are not prompting and navigating, do some logic operation, which is good, no, which is not a good thing. So we need to follow the structure. So user without values, I can able to give, which is done. Next, user will give the valid details. Test @gmail.com 1234 1234 register. You fill all the details. What happened? Console. Okay, no error. Always follow your console. You have some issue or not. Click on register. Source user login registration. If employee username password test username test password empty. Why this? Oh, okay. This dot employee data dot password, right? Which is wrong. Okay, which is wrong. So that's why try to adapt that system. It will show this dot because the password is part of employee data, right? Dot password. Okay. So page will refresh. Let us check the first validation. Please fill out all the details. Test @gmail.com 1234 1234. Now it will go inside. So user registered successfully. If a user wants to give the same details again, user wants to, while I'm explaining this logic, right, you can able to write parallelly. So logic in the sense I'm not able to give any notes again. So while I'm doing, you can able to write. If a user try to click on the same registration page, so as per his expected, the details are exist. The details are exist. Then it always it is showing the alert message, which is recommended no. So we need to create a logic to check user details exist or not. So check user exist. Okay. So create this function. We can create a same function inside, same functional logic inside this, no? But as per me, which is not recommended, need to break the logic as a part of functions. Check user exists. So how to check? This is the employee data. So I will return a true or false. If user exists, I will return a true. Otherwise, I will return a false. User exists, always boolean. Okay. Return true something. Let us take to avoid the errors. Okay. Okay. Now system is ready. We need to write a logic here. So what is the logic means? I will take this employee data, some data as an input. EMP data. Type employee. So employee data is type of employee, right? Same, I'm expecting some employee as an input. Okay. In this logic, anytime you have the doubt, ask me. I'm creating a one function. That function, responsibility of that function is I will give you some input to data. Sir, without giving the input data, this data employee data you can able to access anywhere means I can access because this is a global object. This is the global object. But as a part of your function, try to give some input to data, expect the some data out. Without this one also you can able to consume directly this data employee data. Okay. So somewhere if you want to reuse this logic, right, it's not able to possible in other cases. So to avoid that one, Expect some input data, return some data. Your functionality do only that thing. Okay, here employee data. Okay, what I need to check? I am getting the employee. Next. So this is the registered employee data, which is a global object. All the registered employee data will be stored here. Okay. Next, let registered employees is equal to this dot registered employee data, which is a, see here, which is a collection of object, collection of elements. Yes, right? Which is a collection of employee elements. Next. So I am assigning this one to a one variable. Next, what I need to check the details. I need to, this is the collection of element. I need to talk with each and every element. The data is exist or not. So what I'm saying. So which is a this dot employee data. What is that name? This dot registered employee data. So my data is empty. Let me give a valid data test @gmail.com 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 register. Now check that one. You will get a one record. Yes or no? You can able to see a one record. Let me change the details. Test 1, 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 3 1 something. User registered successfully. And check this one. So now tell me, this is a collection of square brackets and then you are seeing about a curly brackets. So this is nothing but a collection of array with object. Array of object. Collection of array of object. Okay. So if you want to check same user can able to click on this register button again. You need to check the same data exist in any element. For example, ID we no need to check. Username, email. We'll check for the username, email. Okay. If there is any user having the same username and same email, we need to prompt that one. For example, user try to give the system again with the test@gmail.com, which is already exist in the one element. We need to show a prompt. Next, or else user can able to give the test1. So in this case, we need to prompt a user. So nothing but here that can be a user. Tomorrow it can be any data. You need to check that duplicate records. Okay, the concept will be the how to check a duplicate records in a object. Okay, array of object. So let us see. So if I say array of object, this is nothing but a collection of the data. So if you want to go over the collection, we are having the loop that is called for loop. Is that clear as of now, everyone?
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody asking. So how to create a for loop? Always I'm saying let I equal 0, I less than some length employees. So which is an array always having the length property I plus plus. So here I will have the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 indexes. I will be start from 0. Sorry, if I want to start from 1, which is not recommended. Why? Because registered employee is a array collection. Arrays always will be start from the 0. Array always will be start from the 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So you need to collect from this. So I just created this one. Next. So how to access array of elements? How to access elements inside of array?
Using array of.
Correct. Index based.
Index
Array of I.
I.
Okay. Array of I dot username is equal to emp data dot username, which is the emp. Emp is nothing but input. Okay. This is nothing but a collection, one collection of element. And registered employees of I dot email. This is the basic one. After this one, we'll show the advanced one, how peoples will be doing. Okay, that also I will show. This is dot email. If both are same, what we need to return?
User exists.
Okay, yeah. So for that one, let me create one variable is user exist is equal to by default false. I will treat it as by default false. User is not exist. So any condition, okay. Sorry, no this true. Okay, and then I need to return this variable. Is that logic understood by everyone? Please ask. Let me know. So this is the array of elements. If you want to loop through the array, only you have the for. But I'm directly saying that one in entire Angular application, whatever it is, we want to loop through the elements. Mostly will go with the for 99%. Few people only will use this switch. Sorry, while loop. But while and for both are the same. As per the condition, it will work. So 99% you are working with the for. So try to adapt this for system. In a for we have the different ways of writing. This is the most people are writing like this. I will show the advanced way also. Okay, is that understand everyone? So this is the array of elements. So this is the collection of elements. I show that this is the collection. Next, if you want to go each collection of element, if you want to check the details, you need to loop the element. Once you loop, here I will be 0. Registered employees of 0. So this is the array syntax which we seen in a arrays. Next, this is the way of accessing the object. Okay. Once if I say the 0 array of 0 is nothing but object or not. If I say like this, so what is the output? Object. Why? How I'm saying the object? It is having some curly braces with some key and value. Then it can able to share object. How to access a elements in of object? Again with the dot id. Okay, this is the way. This is the way. So we need to check only for the data. We need to know the concept. Check for the data. That's it. Okay. First, it is showing a 0 1. If we see 0 1, it is an array. Simply write is a logic of for loop with the 0. Next, for the 0th element, once you get the data, this is in the form of object. How to access the object elements? Simply dot key. Okay. Now, where I need to call this one? Go here. First, once that if is executed, I need to call let is user exist is equal to this dot. This is right. Check user exist. It is expecting this some input to data. So we'll pass this dot employee data. I am passing. Next. If this value is true, then only I need to execute the logic, right? If the value is true, I need to prompt the message. Else, understand what I'm doing here, right? If is user exist is true, I will show you alert message. User already exists. Right. Condition equal to true. Is equal to true. If it is true, then I will show user exists. Otherwise, what I'm doing, I'm simply collecting an object. So file is saved. Come here. Next, system is refresh. Test at the rate gmail.com. 1 2 3 1, 2, 3. Click user registered successfully. Again click user already exist. Okay, user exist. So this is the way we can able to simply compare the data and get it. If I try to change the system test1, then test1 is a different user. User registered successfully, but always email should be unique, right? So we need to add a which condition instead of and you can able to simply change to our condition. Either you require the username or employee, any one is same, then we can able to simply print that user exists. Okay. So email and always should be unique, right? Here I'm saying that one both email and username are should be same. I'm saying earlier condition. In this condition, at least username same, it will be duplicate. At least email same, it will be duplicate because username email always should be different. Okay, any doubts? Duplicate data check logic.